In this lesson, we will learn about Active Directory Integrated Zone. As you may know, when a zone is created as an Active Directory Integrated Zone, the zone information will be stored in the application partition of the AD database and replicated to all the DNS servers within the replication scope. These DNS servers will become the primary name servers of the zone, which allows multi-master update for the zone. The zone replication utilizes AD replication mechanisms and schedules, which means it does not use zone transfer. To fully understand how AD integrated zone works, in this lesson, we will first turn off zone transfer on itlifeskills.com on GPVDC01, then delete the secondary zone itlifeskills.com on OPVDC01, then change the replication scope of itlifeskills.com to all DNS servers running on domain controllers in this forest on GPVDC01. After that, we will verify the AD integrated zone behaviors. And finally, we sum up the lesson with the keynotes. Now, let's turn off the zone transfer on itlifeskills.com on GPVDC01. To do that, we need to right-click on the zone and click on Properties and click on Zone Transfer tab and uncheck the Allow Zone Transfer and then click OK. And that's it. Now let's delete the secondary zone itlifeskills.com on OPVDC01. To do that, we just need to right-click on the zone and then click on delete and click yes, and that's it. Now let's change the replication scope for the zone itlifeskills.com on the DNS server GPVDC01. To do that, we need to right-click on the zone and click on Properties. And here in the replication scope, we click on the Change button. And we change the replication scope to all DNS servers running on domain controllers in this forest itlifeskills.local. We just check on that and click OK and click OK. That's it. Now let's verify that the itlifeskills.com zone on GPVDC01 will be replicated to OPVDC01. To do that, we need to right-click on the forward lookup zones and click on refresh. And that's it. We see itlifeskills.com zone show up. Now let's verify the zone itlifeskills.com on the DNS server OPVDC01. To do that, we need to right-click on the zone and click on Properties. As you can see, the zone type is Active Directory Integrated, and the replication scope is to all DNS servers in this forest. Now click on the Change button. As you can see, we can set the replication scope on this zone. Let's close it, click OK, and click OK. That's it. Now let's verify the primary name servers of the itlifeskills.com zone. To do that, we need to double click on the name server records. As you can see, both OPVDC01 and GPVDC01 now become the primary name servers of the zone itlifeskills.com, which means we can add, update, or delete any DNS records on the zone itlifeskills.com on these servers. As you know, we first created the zone itlifeskills.com on GPVDC01 as standard primary zone, which created the zone file on GPVDC01. We then converted the zone itlifeskills.com to AD integrated zone. Now, to prove that the AD integrated zone stores the zone information in AD database instead of the zone file, let's delete the zone file. First, we need to make sure we are on GPVDC01 by typing the command hostname. As you can see, we are on GPVDC01. Let's get to the zone file. The zone file is stored at C Windows System 32 DNS. As you can see, the zone file itlifeskills.com.dns is still there. Let's delete it by right-click on it and click on Delete. Now, let's get back to the zone itlifeskills.com and we will refresh it. Everything looks good, which means the AD integrated zone does not use the zone file. To make sure the zone itlifeskills.com is still functioning after we deleted the zone file, let's create a new record. To do that, we need to right-click on the zone and click on New Host Records. And we type in the host name is home and the IP address is 10.0.0.102 and click Add Host and click OK and click Done. Now let's get to the zone itlifeskills.com on OPVDC01 and we need to refresh it. As you can see, the home records has been replicated from itlifeskills.com zone on GPVDC01 to itlifeskills.com zone on OPVDC01. Everything looks good. To prove that AD integrated zone allows multi-master update for the zone, let's delete the home records on itlifeskills.com zone on OPVDC01. To do that, we need to right-click on the records, then click on Delete, then click on Yes. Now let's get to the zone itlifeskills.com on GPVDC01 and we need to refresh it. As you can see, the home records is also be deleted on the zone itlifeskills.com on GPVDC01, which means Active Directory Integrated Zone allows multi-master update. This is the end of this lesson. Let's read the keynotes.